There's a little known campaign strategy on Amazon that not many people are utilizing how they really should or even at all. This campaign strategy is meant for anyone, even if you have a single product, all the way up to even people who have hundreds of thousands of products on their catalog. Actually, it works a little bit better the more products that you have. This is the auto catch-all campaign. This is a type of campaign that essentially you are focusing on every single possible product you have all into one campaign at the same time. The purpose here is that it is an auto campaign, therefore you're going to have pretty low bid volume on most of it to keep your A costs low, and it's essentially going to be gold paying for as any type of sale that you can possibly get. So, how do you actually go about setting up such a campaign? What's the real purpose behind it? And is the outcome going to be the same across the board? Well, let's dig into that. So, essentially, when you're going to set up one, you can come into your ad console, you can go to your create campaign section, and then you can go over here to sponsored products. So this is a sponsored product campaign. Now, once you're in your sponsored product, what you're actually going to do here is you're going to add every single product. So we're going to do add all on this page. Now let's do this as an example for a couple of pages, because as you can see, we have 1,000 products in this catalog. So this is, again, something that we would utilize across the entirety of this catalog. So you would, in fact, if you have 1,000 products, go through and add every single product on every single page. So I could easily do that over the next minute or so here, but to save everyone a little bit of time, we'll just go with these 293. So this is an auto targeting campaign, so you are going to keep it on automatic targeting. And then instead, for our default bids, we're actually going to be setting bids by targeting group. So what we're going to do here for all of these bids, you can see our suggestions so far around 47 cents, 48 cents, 39 and 51. I like to start out very, very low with this campaign. Again, the purpose here is to have essentially very, very low spend. And if you get even one sale off of it, it's going to be really, really useful. So for something like close match, I'm usually going to start off, see what the suggestion bid is. I'm only going to do roughly 25% to 50% of the suggestion bid. So for a situation like this, I would probably do it around 20 cents. Then again, loose match, we're going to be looking at this. I'm going to be doing loose match again around 20 cents. Substitutes, we will do around 15 cents. And then complements, we are going to keep this at, again, let's say 20 cents. So again, what is the full scope and purpose of this? We want to have our bids be very, very low. We're going to have a lot of different keywords, a lot of different search terms that are going on with all of these different products, and this is going to essentially be panning for any minor sale you can get without possibly getting all that many clicks. So it's not so much something to increase your conversion and your click-through rate, but more so something to really pan out for any possible sale that you can get on a very, very low budget and margin. So we're not going to add any negative keyword targeting in here. The only thing that I would suggest if you are going to add some form of negative keyword targeting would be if you know a very, very specific keyword that for your exact products cannot be targeted for some reason, then you can add that in here. But most of the time you will not be utilizing this at all. Again, down here to negative product targeting, same thing. We're probably not going to touch this at all because it does not really matter all that much. Now, for auto catch-alls, depends on who you ask, but typically speaking, I like to have this be dynamic bids down only. Dynamic bids down only is really going to be the best way here to, again, keep your spend overall fairly low. We don't want to be having our bids raised for any reason in this scenario because we're trying to keep this as a very low spend campaign that really just fishes for those outlier sales that you may not get otherwise. Past this, you can name your campaign, and then you can set a portfolio. I like to set portfolio as all products since we're going to have all the products in here. Set your daily budget. It'll give you a suggestion down here. That will be totally up to what you want to put as your daily budget. I typically am going to keep this, again, fairly low. The point here is not to be overtly spending a lot of money on these campaigns, and instead you're wanting to make sure that you're just getting out there in a very, very wide net for all of your products at the same time. So that is the basis of how to set up an auto catch-all campaign. When going through this campaign, and again, the why is because we're trying to set a very large net that's just going to catch a fish here and there. And that net isn't going to cost us really anything at all to be able to catch those fish. You can usually run these campaigns pretty successfully with good sales margins with even just, a 2 to 3% ACoS. So if you don't already have an auto catch-all campaign, I highly suggest you go and set one up. Let it run for a little bit. If you're not getting any real sales here or there, then what I would suggest is just up those bids slightly. Again, those bids, we just want to keep them low to start, and then we want to slowly, incrementally increase to really get where we want to go. The only other suggestion I have for this would be your placements. I typically like with auto catch-alls to increase our top of search a little bit more, just because that's going to overall affect the entire products, how they're showing up. It's going to be probably where you're going to get the most amount of juice. So hope this really helped, and look forward to the next one.